I know I said I was going to long line around the property today for this ride to give his back a break, but we ended up getting too much rain last night, and I want to keep my fields good for future rides. So we're gonna just go ahead and do a very quiet ride in the indoor and not make the mistake I made last time of trying to get what I wanted too quickly. So I plan on really taking a long time to warm up. Um, he is a baby thoroughbred after all, and he doesn't even always know what I'm asking. So I'm going to set my expectations a little bit lower, focus on what he needs, and yeah, we'll see. Hopefully that makes a difference. Also, I'm going to tighten this up. What the heck? Anyway, here we go.
Hey guys! Today's ride was particularly boring. Not that any of them have been super exciting, but this one was really boring. So I thought I would just hop on here and go over a few things with you. I'm really excited to say that I have a few new followers this week, which is so great. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. And some of you have actually even watched the videos. And I get it. I know right now they are really boring. Um, but that's kind of how progress is, especially with a young horse. And I just want the channel to be as honest as possible and show the reality of what it's really like doing what I'm doing. So if you're here, thank you. And I hope you'll stick around because I think things will get a little more fun and exciting, hopefully, soon. So I'm sure very few, if any of you, have watched the intro video that I put out a few weeks ago. So I thought I would let you know what the channel is about and why I started it and what the plan is. So I am a 54-year-old, out of shape, out of practice, adult amateur rider, and I haven't done any consistent riding in 6 or 7 years at this point. And I was just looking at my life and I was like, I'm not ready to give up yet. I was working too much, not having any fun, taking care of a horse farm with two retired horses and not being able to do anything fun with them. And so I I just couldn't picture my life continuing being so mundane without any real goals or anything, and time is just flying by. So last year, I guess it was about 10 months ago, I decided that I would buy a 3-year old off the track thoroughbred. So what better way to add excitement to your life than get a baby thoroughbred? So I bought Polo Drive from New Vocations Racehorse Adoptions in Lexington, Kentucky. And I highly recommend them. I mean, the whole process, it 10 out of 10 for sure. Yeah. So if you're interested, check them out. So when I first bought him, I spent a little bit of time working with them and doing some super light retraining, which New Vocations already does some light training off of the track. So that is an extra bonus. They've already put in, some really good work on these horses. So keep that in mind. Again, check out New Vocations, Racehorse Adoptions. But anyway, so I spent a little bit of time with them, and then the weather kind of started turning and my job started getting busier, the hours were getting longer, and I wasn't ready to get started yet. I just couldn't make that commitment yet. So I figured he's 3, let's give him some more time to just fill out and be a horse and recover from his racing career, which he only raced twice, so it wasn't that bad. So anyway, now that spring is coming, I just decided it's time. So I decided to pull him out of the pasture and get started on our journey to becoming low level eventers. And the purpose of this channel is to document our journey and hopefully build a community of like minded people that aren't ready to give up on their dreams yet. And for me, I ride by myself. I'm pretty isolated here, and everything is quite a haul away. So I am really just trying to figure out most of it all on my own. And I do have experience, but I'm out of practice. And so it's, there are new struggles as I've gotten older. Things are not the same as they used to be. So I have some new struggles that I'm dealing with, but I wanted to document that, and hopefully these videos will find somebody, even just one person, that can relate and will get something out of it. So that is the purpose of the channel. Now, the plan for the channel is to document the journey that I take with Polo to get us to our first recognized event. So the plan is, if everything works out well, we are going to head south for the winter eventing season next January, so January of 2027, and just completely immerse ourselves in eventing and do lots of lessons, go cross country schooling, go to some shows, and just hang out with all the other eventers. So I used to get to do that. I spent 9 years going south for the winter, and I don't know, once you've done it, it's so hard to not try to do it again. So it's been, let's see, I think, the last time I went south was in 2020, the coronavirus. So that was kind of a weird winter. Everything basically shut down. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been down there, and I can't wait to go. So hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully everything works out. But this channel is going to document the entire journey of getting there, and then we'll switch focus to the actual trip. And I think it'll be interesting to some people. So if you think it'll be interesting to you, I hope you'll subscribe and follow along. And as always, put in the comments what your goals are, because I would love to hear from you. So now that I have pulled Polo out of the pasture and we've actually started doing some work, I found myself struggling to stay organized, I guess. And so I created a very simple workbook. It's called the 30-Day Ride Anyway Challenge, and I will link it below. So if you want to take a look at it, you're more than welcome to give it a shot, and let me know in the comments if you're going to try it. But it's a very simple and flexible plan, just as a means to document what your goals are, what you're going to do to achieve those goals, and just keep you motivated to ride and keep track of what the rides were like, what you want to work on next time, and how you're feeling about things. Because if you're like me, you overthink everything, and a lot of the struggles with riding come from the mental side, not the physical skills, at least at a certain point in your riding career. The mental part is always the hardest part for me. So in the workbook, there are plenty of opportunities to reflect on how you're feeling and what what kind of things hold you back and what keeps you going. So if you want to take a look, like I said, I'll link that below. Today's ride was the last ride for my first week of this challenge. So I'm just going to go over the weekly reflection from the workbook and let's see how things went. So, how many times did I ride this week? I actually rode 4 times. So that's a great start. I planned on 4 to 5 rides a week. So what helped me ride this week was that the weather was amazing. We had a couple days where we had really strong windstorms, but because my plan was flexible, I was able to switch my rides to a different day and got it all done. And so the weather definitely helps, but I would say what kept me going this week was the the progress that we made, like even baby steps. So we did our first canter. So I've had this horse for over 10 months, and this week was the first time ever that I even tried to canter on him. I had gotten in my head, I think, that I was nervous about cantering. I had a horse that I leased for a while who ran off with me all the time, and it was, not exactly confidence building. So I think I had a little bug in my head saying, I don't know about cantering yet. And so I kept making excuses like, well, he's only 3. He needs to build up strength. Let's do this all right. But I finally, this week, I was like, I need to canter. Otherwise, I'm never going to canter this horse. And, we can't really event without being able to do a canter. So we got that done. And then we did our second canter and our third. And then I realized that, okay, maybe I was focusing more on what I wanted instead of what Polo really needed for the rides. And so that's when today we took a step back and we just had a very calm ride where I was just really trying to pay attention to what he was telling me. And, lesson learned. I need to always be mindful of what he needs, especially his little baby brain. But anyway, that helped me this week. What made it difficult? Actually, nothing this week. I had a lot of time, and I don't know. I'm just really excited about riding, and the weather is getting better. And honestly, this channel is kind of fun. So yeah, this week was pretty easy. What was my biggest small win this week? The first canter, definitely, 100%. Got that out of my mind, and now I realize he's such a good boy. Like I'm not even slightly concerned about that. We got that done. So success. What did I learn about myself as a rider? Um, Probably that just I reminded myself that don't get too far into your head. You're only going to hold yourself back. So, one of the benefits of riding by myself and not having a trainer right now is that I really do have to pay attention to what he's telling me. And, uh, yeah, just I have to push myself out of my comfort zone a little bit. And I am not always willing to do that. And so I know I do it safely and thoughtfully because that's just who I am. I don't want to take too many risks. So, yeah, that is me as a rider. I can push myself. I do have experience even though I'm out of practice. And so as long as I'm doing it safely, I need to push myself just a little bit more, I think. Also, I've got to keep in mind though that he's only 3. Or well, wait, he's 4. He turned 4 on the 22nd, March 22nd. So yeah, he's a grown up now, basically, right? We can do all the things. I'm just kidding. We'll still take it slow. What will we focus on next week? We're definitely going to focus on um, getting him to move off of my inside leg. So he's not. Let's see. I think yeah, it's the video that is playing right now where he is just not moving off of my left leg at all. I couldn't push him into the corners at all, not even a tiny bit. He was just ignoring it. I did put a baby spur on for this ride because of that, but the way it was fitting with my half chap, I don't think he even felt it. So I did get off at the end of the ride and pick up a dressage stick just to have it there as reinforcement. But unfortunately, the Pivo stopped recording, and so I didn't get it on video. But he did respond to that, so that was good. So we will definitely be working on that next week, and just the it's still early in the process, so we will just be spending time increasing the rides and just working on our partnership. So that will be next week. So I'm really excited to continue on, and I'm glad that you're here. I really appreciate you. And like I said, check out the workbook down below. Leave your comments if you're going to give the 30-day challenge a shot, and let me know what your goals are, what you're working on, what your struggles are. I would love to hear from you. But anyway, I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.